we ambulances foforo emuno chiawa John Dramani Mahama atodiama no foforo say omonfa nko omo chip compounds mo no obi yare a omotumi e de akofa nipako no e de nako hospital na Pragia Aboboya we a wo de kwakofa obi amane de akọ hospital ni wu no be wudi. We are enjoying our happy independence.
Welcome to the political rant with me, the voice right here on Ghana Sem TV. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on the notification so that anytime videos of this nature are uploaded, you'll be notified. So that when you meet an NDC person, you can tell the NDC person that this is not politics, so it is about lives that we are talking about. Tonight we are discussing this new vehicle that we hear has been purchased under the government of John Dramani Mahama to be given to some chips compounds in the north, right? And we want to see, not viewing from a political perspective. Maybe when our guests come in, they might decide to view it from a political perspective. But I want to put it on record that whatever I'm going to say tonight, I'm going to say it based on my experience in the health sector. Not as an MPP person, but based on my experience in the health sector. The time you spend on the road is important. That's number one. Number two, the care that is given on the road is also important. That is why in an ambulance, we have specialized health personnel who are there to help the patient that's being transported. Second scenario, let's assume we want to transfer somebody, or maybe somebody at a site that there has been an accident. Okay, that person we want to rush quickly to the hospital. Again, the time spent from the place of the accident to the nearest adequate health facility also is important, whether or not that person's survival chances will be increased or will be reduced. So let me give you a typical example. In my work at a hospital, right, over the time that I've been there, I've seen people whose arms or limbs could have been saved if they were managed in a certain way from where they had or they were involved in an accident to the hospital. I repeat, there are many Ghanaians who have been involved in accidents, and doctors, orthopedic surgeons have had to cut off their arms, cut off their limbs, not because they couldn't have been saved, but because of how the broken arms and limbs were transported from where the accident occurred to the nearest hospital. Now, mind you, there are certain things that most of the time people who are not health inclined overlook. It is that when you take our body, let's say this arm that you are seeing, and sorry I'm speaking health, I told you that this, I don't want to do straight politics with this. I want to take my time and explain to you medically so you understand why I would be against this Aboboya that was purchased by John Mahama, His Excellency. So please follow me as we build the narrative together. Now, this arm that you are seeing, it is not just made up of muscle and bone. This arm that you are seeing, okay, my full hand, is not made up of just muscle and bone. Now, the common floor member, okay, someone who does not have any experience, maybe in health, say in nursing, in physiotherapy, in medicine, in pharmacy, and the rest, will look at my arm and say that, oh, this arm, we have bones, we have muscles, and then we have blood vessels. So when, maybe, let's say, God forbid, somebody is involved in an accident and the arm is mashed, is broken, a typical common floor person thinks about, is the person bleeding? Do we have any blood vessel that is cut? Okay, or the muscle, is the muscle torn, is the bone broken? That is all. But much more beyond that, okay, we have nerves, and these nerves through our body, our arm, like we are using the hand, through our hand, are responsible for the fact that you are able to coordinate your hand. You are able to think, use your brain to lift things. Those nerves are responsible for that. And they are also just like the way we see blood vessels. They have terminals. They are just lines. Sometimes you cannot even see. Sometimes you can see. So most of the time, you have people who are involved in an accident, okay? And in the rush to rush that person to the hospital, the way the person was transported, people severe nerves. It means that you cut nerves. So the person can come to the hospital. As a doctor, as an orthopedic surgeon, you realize that you can rescue the bone, you can rescue the muscle, but that hand is going to become useless. Why? Because the nerves were torn, and the nerves, maybe the way they were torn, cannot be joined for sensation to return to that very arm. So you see how very important first aid is when something happens somewhere. Right? Good. So government after government in Ghana have seen this happen, not just for accident, also for pregnancy. There are places that a woman is in labor, right? And she has to be rushed to the hospital. Now, people have to run and go and look for a taxi, sometimes a motor, to carry this woman that is in labor to the hospital. Sometimes by the time they get to the hospital, the head of the baby that is coming in is stuck in the birth canal for too long. So the baby inhales in maybe the fluid, the amniotic fluid that it was in, or those things, or several other things, and it leads to child mortality. Okay? So we were losing a lot of babies through that. And then also there was a lot of risk to the mothers. To them, because if, let's say, you are seated on a motor, you are having contractions as a pregnant woman, and so the baby also is forcing, yes, cerebral palsy is all part. Thank you, aspiring homemaker. And I'm sorry we are speaking a lot of health, but please follow and understand, so that when you meet an NDC person, you can tell the NDC person that this is not politics, so it is about lives that we are talking about. Right? So you can have a mother sitting on a motor having contractions, and the head of the baby is stuck in the birth canal, and it also affects their pelvis. So people go into childbirth and return, and they have lost sensation at their entire lower part. They become paralyzed for life. All these things is because of the kind of emergency system that we have. Mommy, you are welcome. Kind of emergency system we have. So they did a research in Ghana. World Health Organization was part. Ghana Health Service was part. And they realized that to reduce infant mortality, childbirth mortality, and all those things, and also to have an effective first aid management system in Ghana, we ought to have a good ambulance service. This was done since JJ Kufuor's time. So from this narrative, our foreign partners, including our government, have tried to revive our emergency system, teach first aid and all those to save lives. NDC in the first tenure, under Prof. Mills, John Mahama's stint, tried to revive the ambulance sector, which is the first aid sector. Now, much beyond trying to revive that, they saw it as an opportunity to make easy money, quick cash. So when they ordered for the ambulances, they took the money that was worth the 200 ambulances that they wanted to order, but they did not order what qualifies to be an ambulance. And I always tell you that when an issue happens, before you talk, take time, go into history, search the root of that very issue. That is the best way of that very issue. That is the best way of addressing the issue. That is why when you come to the hospital, I always tell you, you come to the hospital with headache, You are expecting doctor to quickly write paracetamol for you, or write Gebedol for you, or write Panadol for you. But doctor will say, I know you said your head is aching you, but please go to the lab, let them take your blood. It's because we want to know that maybe this headache you are feeling, is it migraine? Is it because of maybe high blood pressure? Or is it because of stress? Are your pain receptors? What is happening to your pain receptors? We want to know all those things so that we can treat the root of your headache. Tomorrow you won't return again with the same headache. So when issues happen, when you see an ambulance that is Aboboya, try to find out what is the origin of these people, what kind of mindset has drawn them to go and buy this eyesore, this horror tricycle, and make it an ambulance. So they tried it in the first stint, but they wanted to make money. So they went to buy trotro cars, what we normally use for trotro in Accra. They went to buy those and brought down as ambulance. When the cars came, they quickly went to exhibit them at the State House in Accra, the forecourt of the State House, under John Dramani Mahama. Now, when they did that, experts started telling them, experts started saying that, no, these things are not ambulances, they are trotro cars. So they realized that, no, I am a mistake. People will laugh at us. They quickly, by night, moved all those cars from the State House to the Air Force base at Atienya. Okay? And they went to dump them there. So that nobody will know about it. Everybody will forget about it. Because it was disgraceful. Then Manasseh Azuri, very inquisitive, went in there. Lady P, hello. I'm fine. Went in there to take videos, and the story broke out. When MPP government came to power, we really wanted to get to the bottom of it because money was lost to the state. So that is how come Ato Forson's prosecution came. Then we had names like Richard Jakpa and the others. Now, listen to this place carefully. Today, I sat down and I wanted to really look at the mindset behind all this Aboboya thing. So I went back into what happened in court when Ato Forson and Richard Jakpa went to the court. The things they said. And that is where I realized that, Charlie, moving forward though, we have to be paying attention to every single word that comes out of an NDC person's mouth, especially if they are in place of authority. So henceforth, we must start paying attention to whatever His Excellency John Mahama says, whatever Grandma Doolittle, our Vice President, says, whatever the ministers say, because NDC people always leave a clue of their evil agenda in their statements. Okay? They always do that. They always leave traces. They always do that. Now, Richard Jakpa, when they were in court defending the ambulance issue, why they went to buy trotro instead of ambulance, there is one statement that was made. Okay? A statement was made by one of them, and this would tell you that this ambulance, Aboboya ambulance, no, it was already in consideration long before, and they knew what they wanted to do and what they were coming to do. So let me show you this news item from court, and let's all read it together. Okay? Let's all read this news item together. I took a screenshot and hang good. It's here. So it is on the screen. I hope you can read. So this is from Graphic Online. This from Graphic Online. It reads, Ato Forson trial. Even tricycles can be converted into ambulance. Second accused person says. So remember, this Ato Forson's trial in court. Richard Jakpa was involved and one other person was involved. This news item was written by Justice Agbenosi and was released on 22nd May 2024. Pay attention to the date, 22nd May 2024. So they were defending in court. They were defending in court why they went to buy substandard vehicles and wanted to convert them into ambulance. And I tell you, my friends in MPP, when issues happen, let's take time, let's investigate so we get the right explanation to Ghanaians. So this is the word of the second accused person in the Atoforsen trial case. This is what it says. It says, the second accused person in the ambulance trial has told the High Court that any vehicle at all, including tricycles, popularly known as Aboboya, can be converted into an ambulance. Richard Jakpa, who was under the cross-examination of the minority leaders at KCL Atoforsen lawyer, said to the court that ordinary vehicles manufactured and showcased for anyone to just go and purchase, adding that whether it is a tricycle or any other vehicle, they could be converted into an ambulance based on specifications. When you read this very news item on, Richard Jakpa again says in it that no car is made an ambulance from the very onset. So you will go and buy a car and change it into an ambulance. That is what they told the court, which was a lie though. Which was a lie. Because there are companies that manufacture ambulances. And an ambulance vehicle, it has specific specifications. So from here, you can see on your screen that this Aboboya thing is not a one-night wonder. If Atoforsen and Richard Jakpa had their way, that trotro they had bought in the first tenure of John Mahama, they would have instead even bought Aboboya. So they said it in court that even Aboboya can be converted to an ambulance. This is 22nd May 2024, as said in court. Lady P says, wow, yes, wow. Lady P works, I think, with the emergency services. So I'm sure that I think if she has time and she stays on, I'm going to she will come up and let's ask her if she will work in any of those Aboboya, if she's posted to go and work in those. Right? Mommy says, wow, yes, wow. That is it. So let's take time. That's why you see yesterday when I came, I said I didn't want to really speak about the whole ambulance Aboboya. I said I wanted to go and sit down, do my proper investigation before I come and speak about it. So already in court last year, our friends in the NDC were telling judges that, look, if you give us the power crown, you think we went to buy trotro and you think you have seen the worst of it. No, you have not seen the worst yet. We in the NDC, we can buy Aboboya and transform it into an ambulance. They said it in court. We as Ghanaians should have known better, having heard some of these things, that if we vote for such a people, these were the things we were coming to do. These were the atrocities they were coming to commit. But it escaped us. We took their words for granted. And we voted for them, right? And they've gone into buy Aboboyas and indeed have shown to us that they in the NDC know how to turn Aboboya into an ambulance. Now, if you followed my argument from the very onset, I told you that there are reasons why I would choose someone being transported in an ambulance compared to that person being transported maybe in a taxi or in a V8 or any normal vehicle. Now, an ambulance, per our laws, is part of those vehicles that have priority. Okay? So when they are on our roads, we are supposed to give way for them to come and pass, to go on high speed and pass. Why? Because the time spent on the road is important in the survival of a patient or a casualty. Is important. And so when you look at how ambulances are built, they are built to also have speed. They are built for speed. Remember, again, I say that an ambulance, beyond oxygen that is in it, all those things, BP apparatus, the ECG, electrocardiogram, and all those things that are supposed to be in it, Also, the speed of the vehicle is important, because of what uses an ambulance that has oxygen in it. You have everything you need in it, but the ambulance is very slow like a tortoise. The reason you are transferring somebody from maybe one hospital to the other is because of higher care. You understand? The care that person is going for from the second hospital or the second point you are transporting them to is not available where you are. That's why you are moving that patient. So the patient doesn't have to spend all their time in the ambulance. Let me give you a typical example. Let's say somebody, a kidney patient, and that person is due for dialysis. It is either you do dialysis in the next 2 hours or the person dies. You will not see that because you have an ambulance, you place that person in the ambulance, there is oxygen in the ambulance, so that is also, you'll be doing slow motion on the road. You go beyond 2 hours, the person becomes intoxicated and dies. So you understand, speed is very important. Now, Yakub Ahmed says that NDC are playing with Ghanaians. Yeah, they are playing with us. Now, so when I saw this Aboboya that NDC people want us to accept as an ambulance, one of the questions I ask myself again is that, what is the speed of this Aboboya? The speed of this Aboboya. And I'm going to show it to you. You see, I want us to start asking beyond saying that, oh, they could have used money to go and buy. Why Akufo-Addo bought Mercedes? Why are they going to buy Aboboya? You see, when you make some of these arguments to an NDC person, they have a seared conscience. They won't mind you. They won't mind you. Okay? If you go and ask an NDC person that Akufo-Addo bought Mercedes-Benz vehicle, why did you go and buy tricycle? He won't mind you. He will give you an excuse. He will give you an excuse why they went to buy tricycle. But you see, that's where you must sit down and let them know that, look, it's not just about the vehicle. The vehicle is supposed to serve a purpose. So as I said, about the Abobolans that they bought, the speed matters. So I've quickly gone to search for that type, like the best version, the premium version of an Abobolans that is on the market, to see the specifications. Is very important to us. As I said, we need speed on the road so that we can quickly transport the person and save the person's life. You remember I told you that? Good. So speed is what? Very important. Please, let's type in the comment section. Speed is important when you are dealing with an ambulance. So just type speed is important. Let me know you are following. Type speed is important so that I know you are following me. Then I continue with the conversation. So let's type speed is important. I need just about 3 people to type that. And Mami says the voice will kill us. So I could say, voice, what happened to MPP ambulances? So I'll come to all those, right? So I just want to type speed is important. Okay, good. So it's Brian Evans has typed this, speed is important. Lady P has typed it. Aspania has also typed it. Thank you. That's all. Good. So let's continue now. Melanin Goddess has typed. Mrs. Japan has typed. Shaka has typed. Okay. So speed is very important. Now let's go and look at these Abobolans that His Excellency John Mahama bought for our friends in the north, and check the speed, the topmost speed. And I know most of you drive, so you have an idea what a certain speed will be like, right? So let me show you the topmost speed of this Abobolans that was bought by our friends in the NDC to serve Ghanaians. So on your screen is the specification, or are the various specifications of the Abobolans, and this is like the premium version that is available on the market, right? I don't even know if the one that our friends in the NDC have bought, it even meets this standard. But this is like the standard Aboboya ambulance that is on the market. Now look, when you go through, you will see application is at the top there, and the application you see something like design maximum speed. Can you see it there? Design maximum speed is under there. Now look to your right and see what the maximum speed of this Aboboya ambulance is. You see, lesser or equal to 80 kilometers.
Can you see it there? The premium version of the Abobolance, the latest version of it, the most expensive version of it, the maximum speed it can reach is 80 kilometers per hour. Right. With that understood, let's quickly go down to fuel tank capacity. Fuel tank capacity. The maximum fuel tank capacity for a premium Abobolance as purchased by His Excellency John Mahama is 12 liters. So you can see the total fuel it can have is 12 liters. And then the topmost speed that it can go to is 80 kilometers per hour. Now, please tell me, genuinely, friends, 80 kilometers per hour, topmost speed. And you and I know, if you drive, you know that, look, vehicles mostly, the topmost speed is 3/4 of that speed. So if you are driving maybe a Toyota Corolla, and the topmost speed of the Toyota Corolla is around 220, 240 kilometers per hour, you can push the engine, but it is scarcely that even that engine will go beyond 200 kilometers per hour. The reading will go scarcely. You can push the engine, you can push the car, but scarcely. So for this Abobolance, which highest speed is 80 kilometers per hour, it means that no matter how fast you want to ride it, the highest you might be able to go is something around 60 kilometers per hour, 50 kilometers per hour. That will be the highest speed. If you drive a car, tell me, even in traffic, would you drive 60 kilometers per hour? When will you reach where you are going? Driving 60 kilometers per hour, when at all will you reach where you are going? Let's say you are not in an emergency, you just want to go and chill like camp, or you want to go to church and come from your house to your church, driving 60 kilometers per hour. When at all will you reach there? When at all will you reach? This is what John Mahama, His Excellency, has gone to buy for our people in the north, and it is sad. Maximum capacity of the fuel tank, 12 liters. 12 liters. 12 liters. And you know the north, how crooked their roads are. And the more crooked the road is, the more badly shaped the road is, the more you have to be gassing. The more you are gassing, the more fuel you consume. 12 liters. You see how they're going to buy? You see the seriousness of what His Excellency John Mahama has done. It is for that reason that even though we are not in the north, even though we believe the north has been voting for NDC without a cause and we are not happy with them, for their own sake, we have to save them from themselves.